everyone, welcome back to The Mom's View. I'm Colette, this is Kaylee and Carly, and today we're excited to talk to you.
Oh, I love your nail color.
Oh, thank you.
I got
For
distracted.
the wedding.
Merle's pretty.
Thank you.
Did Kyler have this on too?
Yes.
Yeah, she talked and I was like, wait, what nail color is that?
It was funny.
Did you remember the number? 137.
It's called...
It's hard when you get jealous because you're like, what color is that? I'm like, 121?
It's whipped papaya.
Oh.
Is the name.
Oh, nice.
So,
I like it.
I had to get the name because I loved it so much. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to do that again. Mm-hmm. Anyways, back to the nails.
Sorry.
That's what we wanted to talk about today. All right, today I wanted to talk about a book that I've been listening to, and I love it. It's actually Lilly Singh's book, Superwoman, on YouTube. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about, and if you don't, where are you living, under a rock? Go check her out. But she is one of my idols. She's somebody that I really look up to and that I'd like to meet someday. I've never met her. But I listened to her book called How to Be a Boss, and she's talking about a boss. I can't even say a boss. A boss.
A boss. A boss.
She says it really cute, and I can't ever say it. Shay laughs at me every time I try to. But she says being a regular boss is like you excel in the workplace. But she says being a boss.
Is that how she says it?
A boss. A boss.
I say
a
boss. How many ways can we say boss on the Mom's View?
Guys, anyways, it's spelled B-A-W-S-E.
Wait, was that a clothing brand?
I don't...
Boss?
It B-O-S-S was, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
You know, we probably do say it right because we say we have long vowel sounds, so we probably naturally say it.
I feel like I have a hic. Like,
we do, for sure.
I'm so proper. I didn't know what you're talking about.
I'm a boss.
I'm a boss.
A boss, that's it. Anyways, she says, a boss exudes a boss. See, now I can't even do this episode.
You guys know.
Anyways, you get it. Just go listen to her book.
Let's
She
put
says
in
it really
different,
good.
chimes every time the word boss happens. It's like, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Carly and I can do this every time you say it. Let's do it. Then you'll know.
A boss. A boss. Whatever. Anyways, she said, a boss exudes confidence, turns heads, gets hurt efficiently, communicates effectively, and hustles relentlessly. Ooh. So a boss is more than just surviving. You're thriving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in order to thrive, you have to get hurt.
You do. That's what I thought that part was interesting.
Yeah, I love that part.
Gets hurt effectively. No, efficiently. Gets hurt efficiently.
That's probably the word I'm missing. Efficiently.
Yeah, efficiently. It's like you...
Everything just hurts my feelings.
Yeah. Well, I take it as like you learn from it. Like you get hurt and it's like, okay.
You use it.
I'm learning something about myself or about what I need to do differently or about somebody else. Like it's effective. It's
part
efficient.
Of growing, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I think when we get hurt, it's easy to be like the victim.
Yes.
But if you let that go and you use that for yourself, then it gets rid of that victim mentality.
So true. And it's like realizing that everything that you're going through, even the painful stuff, is actually forming you and strengthening you and making you into a boss.
Like if you think about successful people,
Good.
I tried.
If you think about successful people, they are the ones who've probably failed the hardest.
Yes.
Or hit the most lower rock bottom. I don't know how you would compare rock bottoms, but how can you really succeed if you haven't failed or got hurt or
Yeah, that's actually one of the chapters she talks about, is that making mistakes is cool and that nobody is successful. Like, you have to make mistakes. It's part of the journey.
Yeah.
Nobody successful didn't get there by not making any mistakes. They made a lot of mistakes before they got to where they were succeeding.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Oh yeah, that's what she said. She said, making mistakes brings you one step closer to success. And I obviously cannot talk about all the chapters in this book, but I loved listening to her book because she isn't just she's not like giving you stuff that she's like, yes, you have to do this, but she's like, these are things that I've learned through experience and I just want to share them with you. And it was interesting to me because it parallels so many other books that I've read like that. Like not just self-help books, but like Brene Brown and Gabby Bernstein and, those books that are from people who have been through stuff. And there's so many parallels. So I'm just going to talk about a few of them and talk about them on the Mom's View today.
I'm excited.
One of the first chapters that she talks about is conquering your thoughts. And we hear that all the time, right? And she uses the example, she goes, touch your nose. I'm serious. Touch your nose. If you're listening to this book, touch your nose. And so naturally, we all touch our nose. She goes, see how amazing your mind works? Your mind received your instruction. You put it through your body, and you touched your nose immediately. And she says, our brains work so well that they do exactly what we tell them. And they'll even do it subconsciously. Like if you hear a song in a crowd, like I started singing a song the other day, and I was like, why am I singing this? And Shay started laughing. He goes, because I was scrolling through Instagram, and I turned on somebody's like cover song that was covering that, and you started singing it, and I was like, I didn't even know it. I didn't know.
That happens to me with Christmas music at like 3 a.m. La 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 la. Why am I singing this song?
But it's like your brain grabs onto things, and she says that's why you have to be very effective about noticing your thoughts and what's going in, what's coming out. You know, like you need to tell your mind what you want. You need to tell your mind who you are. And if you're telling yourself negative things all the time, that's what you'll be. If you're telling yourself you're going to fail, that's what you're going to do. And I just thought, you know, that's a no-brainer. No pun intended, but
But that's a great way to think about that.
yes. And I just loved that it's a parallel with so many things, but I loved that she talked about that too, because it goes to show that the cliches are true.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
It's interesting too, like you said, like to compare her life advice to Brene Brown to Gabby's to whatever book resonates with us. Like it really, they're all saying and sending the same messages, but sometimes you just have to hear things in such a different way, or like on a lighter note or a funnier note. And it like, here you are at your 31-year-old self, and you're like, oh, how have I not ever taken that in? But it's like, you know, you hear things at a time in your life when you need to, or from like a different perspective, but really it's those same things you've been taught your entire life, you know?
Yes, and I love, like, she is so funny in this book, you guys. She's so funny. One of my favorite analogies that she uses is life is like Mario. You know, here you are, Mario, and you're running. And she says, the things in life never change. Like, the obstacles, they're always going to be there, but you have to figure out how to conquer them. And you make a few mistakes before you figure out, oh, it's this button and that button, and that's how I get over that. And it's just,
I freaking love playing Mario.
Amazing.
she is. Yeah, Mario's awesome,
That's fun,
right?
yeah.
It's the only
Bowser
video game I
always got
remember
me.
how to
I know.
play.
Yeah.
That's like the real old school Nintendo.
Yeah, it is.
Cooper's going off about video games. I'm like, back in my day, I played Mario. He's like, who? I'm like, I'm old.
I'm really old. So another chapter, which is kind of funny, is don't overthink. So we're thinking control our thoughts, but then don't overthink it. She says so many times we destroy our own creativity or our own success by overthinking things.
Yeah.
You know, we just think too much, and then we talk ourselves out of something that we should be, you know, that we could have done, or, you know, and I just really love that one.
Yeah, like almost getting in our own way sometimes.
Yes. Every time we don't do something, it's because we're getting in our own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that even like with an Instagram post.
I know.
Yes.
Like I overthink the caption, and then sometimes I don't even post because I'm like, my caption sucks.
I can't tell you how many pictures I have that I've thought of posting, and I'm like, oh, that's just so stupid.
It doesn't fit in my feed. It's not edited right. La 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 la.
People will read into this too much. Like it's like,
I'll hurt someone's feelings.
did that make sense?
I can't post it. It's a Tuesday. I need to post it on a Thursday.
And then you don't.
And then you just
Social
don't.
media.
Yeah.
So stop overthinking things. That's from Lilly, guys. Another thought that she talks about in the book is exercising self-control. And it's kind of ironic because she says you sometimes have to exercise self-control to exercise self-control, but you have to teach yourself to do it. She said set yourself goals and then set yourself goals to reach your goals. One interesting thing that she says is she used to have a job, but then now that she's her own boss, she said it's so easy to just not do the things that you know you need to do to succeed. She said, so I would set myself goals and I would set myself a time limit to reach those goals. And if I met the goal, then I would give myself a reward. She says she loves to watch Netflix or Game of Thrones or whatever she happens to be watching. And she says, I would set myself, I have to get this much done and then I can watch this show. And she says, don't cheat. If you cheat, then you're just cheating yourself.
Yeah.
And I think we all know that, but sometimes it's still so hard to do. So she even said, invoke your friends to help you. You know, say, give your friend your Wi-Fi password and have them change it, and they can't change it back until you have finished this, this, and this. And I thought that was so
eating
funny.
Taco Bell, slap it out of my hands,
It's
so I'm not
funny.
getting all the weight.
And you almost have to have a friend that really knows you enough to hold you to that.
Right.
Because how often are we like, yeah, we'll just
Yeah.
cheat together.
Jackson's the worst. He's like, you deserve it. I'm like, you're supposed to be helping me.
You're not helping.
You're supposed to be a supporter or whatever, condoner of this behavior. Taco Bell twice a day? Come on.
Right. But setting goals and, exercising self-control takes time, and to always, be patient with yourself, but to set yourself goals and invite your friends to help you reach those goals. I just loved it. And to set rewards for yourself, because oftentimes we have all these expectations and then we feel so discouraged when we don't meet them, and we don't give ourselves a break. Like, set yourself realistic goals, and then when you do meet them, give yourself a break.
Yeah. Then the reward is that much sweeter too, like that much sweeter when you earned it and you've worked hard for it.
Yes. The next thing that she talked about that I absolutely loved was doing things 100%. She said, when you make a decision or you commit to do something, do it 100%. So not 70, not 60, 100%. If you're doing it for yourself, or if you're, doing a brand deal, you're doing a video for someone, you go into it knowing you're going to give absolutely everything. And if you're doing it and you can't give it everything, then that's when you need to take a step back and reevaluate why you're doing it or what you need to not do so that you can give it 100% to your decisions. And I loved that, because there's so many times where I will, overthink it, and I will pull myself back from doing things instead of just jumping in with both feet and committing to do my absolute best at everything, that I decide to do. And then sometimes we get wishy-washy with our decisions even. And I loved what she talks about making decisions in this book, because our decisions are so powerful. It's really all we have is, you get to choose this or choose this, or, I get to create this or not create this, and we're the only ones stopping us. And so really standing by your own decisions 100% is powerful, because then it will force you to hone in on what do you really want and what decisions do you need to make. And that's how you can form, being a boss.
Well, that's why she's so successful. It's like those people who either, it's like, it makes so much sense, like either do it 100% or not. And it's so simple. It's only two choices. I think how easy is it to like do the bare minimum, and people are like, okay, great. And it works for them. And it's like, what is that doing to me at the end of the day if I am just skimming by or just doing it just to, get it off my to-do list if it's not 100%. But it's so hard sometimes, but I love that, because really it's simple. Like either do it 100% or just don't do it at all, or step back until you can do it at 100%.
And it will, even if you're first getting a job and you don't like your new job, do it the best that you know how to help push you to that next thing that you do want to do.
I learned too in life, like how short circle everything is. Like you might be doing something now that will catch up to you in 5 years and you won't even realize it. Like maybe your first job boss in 5 years becomes a CEO of a major company, and you work so hard at that little burrito stand that they're gonna remember you, and they'll hire you and pay you $100 million. Like you just never know when things will catch back up with you in life. And that's why I love that you said that, because it makes sense. Like always give 100%, because you never know when it's gonna come full circle, and chances are it usually will always come full circle.
For sure.
Which is kind of terrifying and great.
Right. Everything comes back around.
Yeah. Comes around.
The last thing I wanted to mention about her book is that I love how she talks about her struggles. Like, she definitely didn't just fall into what she's doing. She struggled a lot, and she actually had her own dance company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was a dancer and had her own dance company. And I don't want to tell you too much because I really want you guys to read the book. But she struggled a lot and, ended up kind of losing that company and moving on to her own thing. And she also has a master's degree.
Wow.
And I just think
Amazing.
she's just awesome. I just thought it was neat that she was willing to be vulnerable and share her struggles that helped her kind of come to know these things for herself. So I hope you guys will go check it out, and let us know in the comments below what books you guys have read and what you would recommend. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.